I'm joined now by the first finalist, Vincent Keymer. Vincent, congratulations. You beat Magnus yesterday. Today you held him to a draw. Before we talk about the game, how do you feel to be into the finals?
Yeah, mostly I'm relieved that I managed to survive this very tough game, and also it's for me like personally incredible achievement to beat Magnus in a match.
And what happened in the game? I mean, out of the opening, very quickly it felt like as black, you got pretty much everything you could have hoped for.
Yeah, I mean, you basically, even if I was in a must-win situation, that position would have been quite nice. I mean, my position was, I think, clearly better. I was up on the clock around 20 minutes. So, yeah, to get myself into that much trouble after that is really not something I'm proud of, but yeah, it happened.
How did you manage to control your emotions with so much on the line to let go of the advantage and suddenly be under so much pressure? What was happening inside you?
Yeah, I was just trying to focus on the moves because at some moment you can't really afford to think about all these things. Like if the game, even if something goes wrong after the game, you will have more than enough time to think about everything that yeah you missed or could have played or could have done different. But in that moment, you just have to fully focus on playing the best possible moves because I don't think there was a single moment when I felt that my position is hopeless.
You are one of the players who always impresses me with how calm and composed you look in general. But today I was sitting kind of behind you and I saw your legs shaking. The entire chair was shaking. Was there were there a lot of nerves? With the feeling so close towards the end to the final.
Yeah, actually, I think even though there was much more at stake than there usually is for me during games, it doesn't really change that much. It's simply that it's a game against Magnus, and I'm very low on time, and the position is very complicated. So that's basically enough to be very nervous, at least for me.
Do you feel, in some sense, you've taken revenge for losing that match to Magnus in the World Cup a couple of years ago?
Not really, actually. Although it kind of is that way,
Mhm.
but it doesn't really, never really crossed my mind.
And let's come back to the game. I mean, after a crazy middle game and then in the early end game, suddenly you were under a lot of pressure. Maybe Magnus had some winning chances. And then what happened next? How did you manage to defend so accurately? Talk us through the final moments of the game.
Yeah, I think when I played this knight a5, this is the moment where he has to show his win, if there
Mhm.
is one. And when he played this bishop by6, I can only imagine that he must have missed b6 because after that, first of all, the position is, I guess, again draw. At least that's what I felt like. And also, my play becomes so much easier. Like my next few moves are quite obvious, and even though I'm ending up in an endgame pawn down, it's still quite comfortable in the sense that my pieces are very active. Like the structure in itself could be dangerous because, of course, an H passer is yeah, potentially very risky, especially with a bishop on two sides, always an advantage. But here, my knight, king, and rook were like really well placed and active. Also, his pawn still on h2, so that I think, yeah, the winning chances were quite small.
What was the first thing that went through your mind in the end when you knew, okay, I've got this, it's a draw?
Yeah, the game also pretty much finished right
Hmm.
there and then, and yeah, I think mostly it was relief that after kind of messing up a great position, I still managed to survive.
And just in the early stages, I was listening to the broadcast, and our commentators were saying, this is maybe the best chess we've ever seen Vincent play. Do you feel similarly?
I think it's hard to compare classical chess to freestyle in terms of quality, but yeah, I think I'm pretty satisfied with the quality of play that I'm showing here.
And finally, let's talk about tomorrow, the next couple of days. That's where it will all be decided in the final. Your opponent is currently being determined in a playoff. Do you have someone you would rather play between Sindarov and Caruana?
No, I mean Sindarov is of course kind of the underdog of this tournament, but he has shown to be incredibly strong, especially in this specific format. So yeah, I don't really think that there's clear someone that should be better or worse for me. And I'm also not really thinking about that for now. I will just relax, and yeah, they will have an incredibly tough time fighting each other and deciding who will win this tiebreak. And then I'm just happy to play whoever wins.
Sindarov, of course, is very close, just 1 year apart, 1 year younger than you. Do you feel it would be nice that the younger generation sort of is taking down, the old elite top players? I mean, old, I say old. I don't mean
Yeah, I mean, they're not
they are
really
not that old, but
old,
you know what I
but
mean. The established elite.
it would have something, but I have to say that I don't really care that much about this.
Are you gonna be following the match they are playing
Yeah,
right
I
now?
think I will. Maybe I'm not sure whether inside, but certainly then on the like chess.com or wherever, I will try to see how the games are going, because of course it's very interesting.
Final question tonight. Do you think you'll have any trouble sleeping, or do you think you'll sleep better after beating Magnus? How do your emotions in the evening?
I'm quite lucky in the sense that no matter how nervous, bad, good I feel, I usually sleep quite well and normal during tournaments. So that's also extremely important, because these tournaments are very tiring, with a lot of energy, and therefore also a lot of sleep.
Vincent, thank you so much for taking the time. Congratulations on an incredible result and all the best for the final.
Thank you.